Did they take you in because you were good or because you were broken?
If you're hearing our voices, that means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene, so you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
Bring him in.
I feel broken.
Yeah, very broken. All right, so here we are, part 2 of a full breakdown of Heart of Stone, Netflix flick.
Which I'm still mad that the trailer is that. We didn't talk about it in the first half, but don't make the title that. It's too like pulpy. Like it's like, you're right. Like it's like they wanted to go half cheese and then they just like didn't commit to it.
They just bit a little bit. So it's like, you're going to go in though.
Yeah.
Lean into it.
So dumb.
Where did we left off the big twist here? So we learned that Parker is double aging us, kind of. He's on his own, rogue, trying to get his own revenge, blah blah blah. Right? Well, we don't learn that at that point, but he's just killed Bailey and Yang, the other two MI6 agents.
Injected our hero Rachel Stone with
little nanobots.
Something.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now she finally wakes up and she's at like the charter, like military, like a hospital or whatever, charter hospital or something, right?
Nomads there, yeah. It looks like it's like a field hospital, like it's like in a warehouse.
Yeah. So she's out of it. And they're like med team's trying to help her, right?
It's so stupid.
And then
it was like alarms beeping, and like she like kind of comes like she's got just barely into consciousnst, right? And she's like, Colin. And the nurse woman's like, Colin esterase? Of course it is. Oh my God.
Give me 5 milligrams of blah, blah, blah.
Stat.
Like, all right.
God damn it.
Then we cut to Jack and Nomad because then there's like alarms going off, right? And we find that charter.
Trojan.
Yeah, the charter is being hacked, right? And they're like, oh, it's from some weak wireless signal. Where is it coming from? It's coming from inside. And Nomad's like, oh, Stone. And then we cut back to Stone. She's on the table. She's trying to get up, and she falls to the floor, right? She grabs like a scalpel and cuts her own arm and pops out the device and smashes it.
It's so stupid.
No more hacky time for you.
We were compromised for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Rachel suggests, why don't we need to shut everything down. We don't know what their capabilities are. Like this could be spreading, making it worse, like a big foreshadowed.
Shut it all down.
Yeah. And Jack's like, why? We don't need to do that. We'll sort it out ourselves. And Nomad's like, yeah.
Let's just do
fuck
that.
You.
Yeah. So we learned, but then there's also, we learned a little tidbit here about how the heart is actually located 85,000 feet in the air in like what they call the locker, right? Yeah. And it kind of navigates around the globe, kind of like a satellite almost, right?
Mm-hmm. Full of hydrogen.
Full of hydrogen, giant Zeppelin in the air. Like, I think most governments would spot this thing.
Yeah, the most valuable quantum computer in the world.
Surrounded by hydrogen, 85,000 feet in the air, just floating around the world.
On the edge of space, yeah.
On the edge of space. Like, you'd be able to just see that. You're like, what's that thing?
So dumb.
Oh my God. So yeah.
If I can see Elon Musk's stupid satellites, I can see I can see a giant Zeppelin.
Oh my God. So then we have a chat. We have a Rachel and Nomad chat, right? And Nomad's not happy with her. She's like, you've been compromising. I'm gonna have you like stand down, but she basically gets yelled at, right?
Yeah. And so I should have just listened to the heart.
God. I think I actually eye rolled.
Nomad's like, yes, that's exactly right. The end always justifies the means.
So yeah, they go back and forth for a bit, and then the boss is like, I got to make some tough choices here, but you're compromised. You got to stand down. Mm-hmm. That's it. You're off. Hand in your gun and your badge, Bobrovsky. You're off the case. Yeah. So
hand in your playing card.
Yeah, hand in your playing card. So she just drops it. Yeah, I can see that. So then she hands in her 9 of hearts card, right? And this is just about a halfway point in this scene, right? And we come to then she's on a bus ride, sad bus ride home, right? Aw.
Meanwhile, the leaders of the charter, apparently, they're all just like sitting around like talking about Chechnya. They're like, Parker, we didn't even see it coming, huh? Like, well, I guess there was that time in Chechnya. They're like,
oh my God. So the 4 kings, by the way, the 4 kings are Nomad. We got BD Wong, who shows up. He's Spades, I think. King of Spades. King of Clubs. Yeah, that's right. Then we got Glenn Close, and then some other guy I didn't recognize. So then we flash back to Chechen situation.
Yeah. And Parker's delivering weapons to a warlord, apparently.
Yep.
That's the premise, but it's a trap.
With a fantastically fake beard.
Yeah.
It's like he bought it at the Halloween costume shop. Yeah, I do warlord things. Yeah. You want the guns?
Yeah, it's like doing a weird accent. And you're like, wait, that's not.
That's not. What are you doing? I have guns. You want guns? You're a warlord. I have guns. But then we find out it was a trap, right? And the MI16 gets killed. They made a decision. The Hearts there, the Kings here made a decision. In particular, King of Clubs made a decision just blow the area up, right?
Yeah, which sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Because they thought, and so they did that. They had a drone overhead. They bombed the place. And they thought everyone had died, but Parker survived. Hence the scars on his back.
Recently.
Yes. And basically, he's just out for revenge to destroy the charter. It's classic storyline, right?
Yep. There's nothing smarter. Well, we'll get a little bit more later too. There's like slightly more to it, but not much.
Yeah. No, it's a pretty standard, revenge story against the people that, did this to me.
Yep.
Which is fine.
And we cut to the van with Kia and Parker.
Yes.
And Kia's like, whoa. You didn't say anything about murdering people. And he's like, hey, sometimes you got to break a few eggs to make a cake, Listen, babe, you shouldn't care about that sort of stuff.
Listen, babe, unless you're vegan, then you wouldn't use eggs in the cake. But you know what I'm saying.
That's right. Egg substitutes. Sometimes you got to break a couple bottles of egg substitute.
So we start getting a little bit of Kia like feeling a little uncomfortable with the fact that he's just murdering people. And that wasn't what they were setting out to do.
That's right.
So there's a little doubt here in her trust of Parker. Is all shot from the trailer to the truck down a desert road. And then we cut to Bailey's house, and we got Stone sneaking in, hangs with the cat for a bit, right? And that's the shot from the trailer of her looking sad with the cat.
Oh my God. It takes so long too. It's another one. It's like 3 minutes of her just like petting the cat. And you're like, cut that.
Just move on.
Cut all this.
And she misses her friends. That's, she's sad.
And she sees photos of Bailey's niece, and she's like, "Oh, that must be the little girl."
And then she sees the camera, whatever, and she's like, "Oh, I think I have an idea," right? And then she looks at herself on the bus camera feed when Kia hacked her, right?
Right, exactly.
And then she does some hacking and finds an IP address that brings her to West Africa.
She's in the desert somewhere, West Africa. What?
Oh, because at that point the locker will be overhead,
exactly,
orbiting the planet. All right, and then we're back we're in a hangar here, right? We get some planning, helicopter planning. So with Kia, Parker, and helicopter pilot guy. Yep. And I guess the plan is that they're going to take the helicopter because I guess they can hack into the locker. They're going to drop its altitude, right? And then take this helicopter up to then drop onto it, get inside, and
steal the heart. That's
steal the heart. That's right. Yeah, steal the heart. Right.
8 minutes. They can get in and out, or we all die.
Very precise. Don't mess around, right? And I'd say at this point in this movie too, this is where we get a lot of jumping between different where we are.
It gets even choppier.
Yeah. So we get the plane, and we're back at the charter HQ, right? We get Jack and some other dude having coffee, hanging out, chatting away, and all of a sudden alarms go off, right? And no, the locker, it's in jeopardy. Someone's unlocked it. And then we're back at the helicopter, right? Parker's like, this is gonna work.
There's a quick cut with Rachel in between, I feel like.
Oh, right.
She's like, get me up there, I'll do the rest.
Yeah, she's just with some other agent or a friend of hers or someone she knows, and he's like, I could lose my something here, and she's like, just tell him I stole your keys. Like, what?
So stupid.
Like, he just brought this character in randomly, like, okay, to solve like a problem that okay.
Yep.
So we're back in the helicopter, and Parker's like, is this gonna work? And it does. So then they drop down on top of the locker.
Meanwhile, back at HQ, they're like, wait a second. That hack was just laying dormant the whole time. You're like, yeah, like Rachel said 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that?
What's going on here? Then we're in airplane.
Rachel Stone getting ready to jump out of an airplane.
Yep. Doing a little squirrel suit jump right out of a plane.
Yeah. Jack's like, wait, who's that up there?
It's a bird. It's a plane.
Oh, it's Stone. Rachel Stone.
Dun, 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 dun. So she's this is the scene from the trailer too. So she lands on the blimp pretty hard, right? But kind of.
They drag it out. They make her like loop around it like 12 times. You're like, wait, how did she not die?
It was
like zooming around like with her squirrel suit.
Yeah, and I'd say the action, like the way it was shot here, was like very disorienting too. So you're like, wait, where are they? Where is she? What's she doing here?
Yeah.
But anyways, she hits the blimp. She lands on it. She grabs a bar. I don't know. She's able to grab on, and she gets to the access panel, right?
And then Parker's like, well. Would you look who it is? And you're like, All right. God damn it.
What's going on here?
Yeah, to Kia, because they're right now they haven't engaged with her yet. She's still on the outside of the thing. But
right.
Kia's like, well, careful, don't shoot guns because one spark and we're all dead because hydrogen, remember?
Hydrogen. Highly.
Okay, fine.
So Rachel gets inside the blimp here, the Zeppelin, right? The locker.
Yep.
And the shot from the trailer of her standing over like inside this giant thing. And she spots Kia and she goes over and she's like, hey, party's over.
Yeah.
And Kia's like, for who?
Yep.
And Parker sneaks up behind Rachel and they fight.
Yep. It's so long. And
like solar panels
with HQ, they're like, well, we don't have any way to get in touch with her, but damn it, we're rooting for her.
We're just gonna watch the fight, I guess, on pay-per-view here.
Yeah.
So then we cut back to the locker. Kia snags the heart, right? And then we go back to the charter HQ and everything just powers down, right? Shuts down.
From the trailer.
And then I love this line too. There's another one. We've lost the heart. And Nomad's like, not yet. Because Rachel's up there fighting. Okay. Oh my God. So we're back at the locker.
And there's a fight still happening.
They got 90 seconds to get out before something, I guess it blows up or happens. I don't remember. So Parker and Kia, Parker neutralizes Rachel, but knocks her off the edge, and then she's hanging on. And Parker and Kia, they run up towards the exit. He plants some explosives. They escape out. They grab onto like the little rope hanging down from the helicopter, right?
They do. Parker gives us a line at some point where he's like, "Oh well, like good luck getting to the ground without a parachute, Rachel." And then Rachel's about to grab the rope that Kia and Parker are hanging onto, but she misses it.
Yeah, and then Parker sets off the explosions and kablooey, this whole thing just goes up, right?
Exactly. So she like does the running on top and jumping like from the trailer.
Hindenburg all over again.
And somehow does grab the rope.
She's running and she just grabs onto the edge. Yeah, she just jumps and gets it.
With Kia, and there's a struggle, of course.
A little bit of struggle. Parker gets back in the helicopter and he's like, I'm going to take a shot. And like, nah, there's no good shot here, right? So she actually just ends up cutting the line. Ballsy move without a parachute, right? But Kia's got one.
Yep.
So Rachel cuts the line. They just do a free fall, right?
Yep.
I love how they're free falling and Kia yells out, leave me alone.
It's so stupid. And then Kia just like passes out from the G-force or whatever. You're like, okay, cool.
Okay. And then it's very much like straight out of, you could probably name 14 movies that have this free fall scene, right?
Yep.
Point Blank,
like
the original one.
The
original Point Blank movie did this.
Yep.
No parachute jumps out, goes after him. The remake, Uncharted.
Yep.
Every movie has this.
Operation Dumbo Drop.
Operation Dumbo.
I'm assuming.
I'm pretty sure one of the Mission Impossibles did this. So she's chasing after her in the air and she grabs onto her and she's out cold, right? So then she pulls the parachute. They're hanging onto each other, which immediately, because all the debris from the Zeppelin catches it at the top of the parachute, tears it up, and they land pretty like broken leg landing hard onto the desert.
Oh yeah.
And then I love in the background, like as they're just laying there, like the Zeppelin like crashes in the background, just blasts like sand over.
Sand's pretty forgiving, I think, famously.
Yeah, right.
It's not just smash up rocks.
Yeah. So we're in the desert, and Rachel's waking up, right? And she wakes up to Kia having a gun on her.
Good morning.
Morning. Get us back to civilization. And then Stone does the old sand in the face move. Gotcha.
Yeah. Works every time.
Kicks the gun. Leg sweep move, right?
Yep.
Sand, kick, leg sweep. Done and done. Tables turned. She's like, I could kill you, but it's time to go. I'm not going to, right? Because the heart is also, well, I guess Kia had encrypted biometrics encryption.
To my biometrics.
Yes, so it's useless without
me. Which you think is interesting until later on. They're like, oh, it's like face unlock. And you're like, what? You don't really need her then.
Or it was like a thumbprint. Just like, well, I'm just going to cut your thumb off and bring it over there.
Yeah, a lot of ways to fix this.
Yeah. So we get another title card, right? We're in the desert, the Lumpool desert.
Sorry, before that, just because I want to highlight the dialogue again.
Yeah, go for it.
They're like arguing with each other, and Kia's like, well, the heart would tell you to kill me, wouldn't it? And then Rachel's like, I'm not like you. Like, what? We haven't proven that she's this like crazy, abominable villain yet. Like, we know Parker's the real villain now. Like, why are you like this? Why are you like this?
Yeah. Oh my God. So we do a little walk and chat in the desert. Just walking in the desert, chatting away. And we get
Senegal.
Ton of backstory exposition about each of them, right? We basically get all the motivation she's told to us from Kia, right? Something about her parents, blah, blah, blah.
Well, apparently, so this is something called Karsh that they don't really explain very much.
Yeah.
But it's like a bad organization that apparently used her parents like lab rats in a medical trial and other people, yada yada yada. That's where the revenge is coming from.
Yep, for her. Yep.
Yeah. And basically they're like arguing over, like, well, is the charter any better? It doesn't stop any of those things from happening in the world.
Right.
She's like, that's not really what it's about.
And then we had a ton of exposition backstory about Stone, where Kia is like, oh, you don't think I didn't look into you? And she basically like, you're violent, blah, 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 use your past. And blah, blah.
Yep.
And then we get more desert walking.
Stop it. Don't say that.
Yeah. Stop it. And then a truck is coming toward them. And they're like, oh, is it Parker? Or maybe it's someone else? And it's just an old woman. She offers them
mercenaries.
Yeah, it's just an old woman speaking French. So then we're truck ride, right? Stone sneaks a little device onto Kia's suit, a little tracking device.
Yep.
Shirt or whatever. And then she says something to Kia. I wasn't sure if it was important or not.
She's like, the charter can take down Karsh, right? Parker's way doesn't have to be the only way. And Kia's like, huh. File that away for later.
Yeah.
And there's like some weird zombie song playing that's kind of fun.
Yeah. And then they pull into like some weird village where this woman is from, right? And then we get a quiet moment where Stone's like, hey, how can we repay you? And woman says, like, you already have. And Stone's like, uh-oh, Spidey sense. And she looks in the rearview mirror and she sees dudes with guns, right? It was a setup. They've been set up. So then she's like, hey, come with me. Come with me if you want to live. And Kia's like, nah, stays in the truck, and which drives away and then crashes immediately. Yep. And then Stone just goes running. It's all from the trailer. It's her running away from gunfire and just
a chase,
and just running and running and running.
Like through a playground.
I was running and running, and she keeps running through a playground, and all of a sudden she hits a cliff and jumps off into the water.
Yep. And then the guys who are chasing her are like, well, no one can survive water.
No. Like, just go down to the beach.
Okie dokie.
It's right down there.
Yeah, what? So stupid.
Oh my goodness. So then we're back in the village. We cut back, right?
Yeah.
And we got the blonde guy. He shows up.
Blonde guy.
Yeah, blonde guy shows up, right? And he shoots the old woman. He's like, well, the deal has changed.
She's like, pay me.
Yeah. He's like, no.
I've altered the deal.
Yeah, it's changed. Pray that I don't alter it anymore. God damn it.
Exactly.
Kia is definitely frightened now, right? And we cut back to the beach, and we got Stone kind of dragging herself up onto shore, right? And then she just lays there, and then there's a woman just running on the beach, runs up to her out of nowhere, and it's just like,
you're a hard woman to find.
The six of hearts.
Six of hearts, you made it. Like, nomad sends her best. This is stupid. I hate this.
And then we're in a plane.
How convenient.
Yeah. And then there's a plane. And we're in a plane, right? She's kind of gearing up. She's taking some meds, right? And she calls Nomad. They chat.
Yeah.
And she's like, hey, I tagged Kia with a signal to track her, right? Tracking signal, right? And she's like, oh, we're looking into it. Looks like they're headed to Iceland.
Yep. They're like, don't worry. Clubs is assembling a team. So
right.
We got to stop them from getting the heart online. Who knows what they could do?
Yeah. So then we got like we're Charter HQ 2.0 here. They want to go underground because they want to get to like a new safe house type place or some bunker, right?
Yep, exactly.
So they're setting up in this new bunker, and then we cut to a transition shot of trucks driving Iceland, shot from the trailer. And then there's a truck ride, and Parker and Kia chat more.
Meanwhile, Rachel's like, "Can this plane actually make it to Iceland?" And Six of Hearts like, "Yeah,
it can." So then and we were back in the base there, right? The charter bunker. And Jack figures out where they're going. He's like, oh, they're going to Reykjavik University.
Right. Yep, exactly. And then we're with Parker at some point. He's like, nice trick with the face recognition. I don't know. It's like, it's all very jumpy.
Yeah, it cuts back and forth to like all three different places very quickly. And
they
it's
like
little
put the
bits of
heart in the
information.
machine.
Yeah. So then we cut to, we're supposed to think it's the Reykjavik University that Parker and Kia are at, but they're actually at a lab, some lab space, right? But we're to think that she's at the university. They power up the heart, and all the servers fire up and things, turn on, all from the trailer. Yep. Then we get a transition shot of the cargo plane landing and Stone getting on a motorcycle. It's all a shot from the trailer and her just riding towards us.
She waves bye.
See ya. So then we cut back to the lab. The trick lab here for Kia and
Parker's like, is that your naughty list? Kia's like, yep. Kia's like, look, evidence of Karsh using people for experiments. We finally got it. We can take them down with the computer. And he's like, actually, hang on a second. You say there's a CIA woman over there with her family in the elevator? let's kill that woman.
Yeah, so it's
Wait,
Glenn
what?
Close's king. She's one of the kings, right? So
Yeah.
he's like, I'm gonna take out all the kings first, and Glenn Close is the first one. He's like, let's drop that elevator. Let's drop that thing. Ah, kablooey.
Yep.
And Kia's not comfortable with it. She's like, no, this isn't cool. All right. And then they start identifying and locating.
Don't.
They start identifying, locating all the other kings, right? So they know.
Yep.
You know, B.D. Wong's character, he's actually in Iceland.
Yep, Clubs is on his way.
And he's got a team that's approaching the university. They think they think they found them, but they haven't, right? And then we go back to the Hart bunker, and they get locked in. So then, the Kia and Parker, they just lock them into the bunker and then like shut off the ventilation system.
Yeah,
that seems like a bad bunker to be in to begin with. If
also, like, there's way faster ways to do this.
So we get like our first like ticking timer here. It's like, how much time we got? Maybe an hour.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, all right. Ramp up the tension with the timer. Mm-hmm. Classic. And then we're back at the lab, right?
Yep.
And
Parker's much more exposition, right? Where he's like, we have to kill the charter.
Yeah, and he's doing his big speech about power and being manipulated, right? And then it cuts to this like so choppy, and it cuts to like the dudes popping out of out of a van. There's all stuff from the trailers. This is like the clubs. And we come back to Parker. He's like still talking about power, and like it's not about earning it. It's about knowing when you see it and taking it. It's like, all right, let's go easier. 50 Shades of Grey. 50 Shades of Dumb.
Meanwhile, Rachel's motorcycling nearby. Finally.
Yep. So then cut back to the lab, and Kia drops a USB drive onto one of the computers for a fail safe, right? And then she leaves. She gets in contact with Stone. Is like, hey, everything at the university, it's a trap.
You got to get your team out of there.
Get your team out of there, right? So Stone shows up at the university, right? She's trying to warn them. She jumps in the van. She's like, get out of there.
She doesn't really do very much to, like, she's not really trying that hard, I don't think.
Oh, she just goes in the van. Well, first she starts to go down there, but then she comes back out and goes to the van.
She just like runs away. Yeah.
Well, she talks to the communications guy who's in the van, be like, that's gonna be the quicker way than me running down there. So
yeah.
But it's too late.
It's dumb.
It's too late. It's dumb. And it's too late because kablooey.
From the trailer. The building explodes.
Building explodes. Whole bunch of glass everywhere.
Forever.
Takes a really long time.
Yeah.
And then Kia's but her lockout works, right? With the heart. Yep. So Parker can't access it.
Parker realizes we've been hacked.
Damn hackers. So we're back at the Hart bunker, still trapped, no comms. And they're like, why don't you try the old landline? Womp womp.
So mad.
So they go old school and use the rotary phone to dial out.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
And she calls directly to Stone, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Rachel like wakes up. She like wakes up in the van because the explosion knocked her out. And she's like, what? And then she's like, well, bad news. Clubs is dead. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
And she's like, but we've got intel that like they shut down the Hart. Like Kia must have shut it down. And so Rachel does a bunch of like trying to convince Nomad that Kia's on their side now. And
like, can you trust her? I don't know if I can. Yeah.
We're going to die in an hour. Like, fix this.
Just fix this. Get 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was weird too because like the dialogue, she was like, can we trust her? I was like, I don't know. But then immediately afterwards, like, but you trust me because I trust her. I was like, wait, what? Didn't you just what?
It's the chain of trust. You can't break the chain of trust.
Oh, little Fleetwood Mac there. Never break the chain of trust.
Oh,
so bring it all back. Yeah, nice.
And there's still 25 minutes left of the movie somehow, which is unbelievable.
Well, she sets a timer. She sets a timer on her wristwatch there for 50 minutes. So we get an actual visual countdown now, and it's like there's still 25 minutes left. Oh my God. So then we're on a motorcycle again, right? And she's racing to go to the real lab.
Yep, that's right.
And we get the blonde-haired guy in high pursuit.
Blonde guy comes back. He doesn't have any lines, does he?
No, he doesn't say any word. No, it's not true. He says to the old woman, the French woman, where he's like, the deal has changed.
Yeah, I've altered the deal.
Right. Goodbye. So yeah, they're motorcycle racing, and then we cut to a dude inside of a truck who's singing.
More Fleetwood Mac, I wish.
It's all stuff from the trailer. You saw this in the trailer, like this whole basically this whole thing, right? So she races up between the truck and there's like a cliff edge there, hoping that this guy will follow her, right? And he does. And then she does the old hammer on the brakes, jump off the motorcycle, grab onto the side of the truck. The motorcycle goes spinning back, right? Hits the blonde hair guy's motorcycle. throws him off. He goes like rolling down the road for a bit, and you're like, is he still alive? And then
nope.
The momentum of his own motorcycle comes flying over and just crushes him.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
Why?
What a way to go out.
Yeah, what a terrible way to go out.
And then truck guy finally notices that Rachel is hanging onto the side of the truck, and she's like, I need this. He's like, what?
What? Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. So then we come back to the lab. This is crazy, right? We got Parker searching for Kia, and like, he's like, you're only delaying the inevitable, blah, blah, blah. And she runs.
She's hiding and running. Yeah.
Then we're back at the lab outside. Stone pulls up in the truck, right?
Then we get Iceland transition. That's like also way too long. It's like another 2 minutes of just like Iceland landscape. You're like, oh, just cool.
We know where we are. Stick with the action here, right?
What? Yeah.
Got to use every bit of that 130 million, I guess. So we're at the lab outside. Stone pulls up in the truck, and then we're inside the lab, and Kia is cornered by Parker and some goons in a hallway, right?
Yep.
We go back outside. Stone's getting inside.
Kia did leave the back door open, like she said.
Yep.
Which is great. So Rachel gets in, and Bunker is not looking so good. We get a quick cut.
Looking real grim, folks. Real grim.
Yeah. They're like, don't work so hard. Conserve the air.
Conserve the air.
No hope.
That scene in Spaceballs, and they're sucking all the air out of the planet.
Yeah. It's basically that.
Yeah. We need this ventilation system to go from suck to blow. So we come back to the lab, right? And just Stone kicking ass again, right? She's got
takes out a bunch of soldiers.
She's got 5 minutes to save the team, right?
Yep.
And we got Parker telling Kia to like get the heart back online, right? And he hits her, threatens her, and he's like, "Got to disconnect." And she's like, "Well, you got to disconnect to reconnect the heart." Blah blah. You know how this works, and ties to the servers. Blah blah blah. Right?
Yeah.
Sounds like some nerdy bullshit to me.
Exactly.
The old turn it off, turn it back on thing.
And Parker's like, all right, well, if you're not going to cooperate, I guess I'll shoot your fingers off. Wait, actually, you need those. What if I shoot you in the knee? And she's like, no, it's okay. I'll do it. Because she sees Rachel off to the side. And you're like, oh.
Yep.
Okay.
So they walk out of the lab together to go restart the heart, right? I can't believe I just said that. And Parker spots the breath mark that Stone had left. I was kind of hoping she was going to put like a little heart in it. That would have been just over the top. That would have been like, that's the level of cheese you need here, right?
Yeah.
So then we go to like this next little cold storage area, right, where the heart is, and we get a face off.
Pops out with a gun.
Yeah,
standoff. Yeah.
So Parker's got Kia at gunpoint here in the head, right? Mm-hmm. And Stone. So this didn't make any sense to me either. So Stone just gives up her gun. Like, Parker, just shoot her right now, and we're done.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, there's no need to keep her. Like, he could just shoot her and like, that's it.
Yeah. Who cares?
We're done. But he doesn't.
Yeah. He's like, but I have the heart and I have the kings. That's winning hands.
Oh my God. More talking about power, blah, blah, blah. And yada. And he's about to shoot her, but then Kia breaks free, and like there was like a loose hose off to the right, and she hoses in the face with some cold stuff.
Yep.
Right. And then they fight.
Because so like Rachel's big point here is like you'll never have the one thing that I know I always will: someone to watch my back. Like, oh my God.
Jesus H. Christ.
I hate this. So yeah, there's like pipes and steam and whatever like leaking all over the place. It's definitely, is it cold or hot steam? Because one way or another, everyone's getting burned.
Well, I think it's so cold that it burns, right?
Burning. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
So Parker's just beating both of them up, and then we cut back to the heart bunker there. They're still losing air, not looking good, right? They cut back to the lab. Fight's still going on, right? Yep. Parker behind Stone, and he's like choking her with some piping thing, right? And she does the old push off the heart casing thing and lands on her back with him underneath her. Yep. And then Kia slides the gun over to her, and then Stone picks it up and just shoots behind her back twice into Parker. And
so dumb. Oh God. And then I hate this even. This is the worst.
This is great. Great.
Yeah. So as he's dying, Parker's just like laying on the floor looking at Rachel and is like, maybe in the next life. And she just looks at him and goes, see you when I get there. What? Like, this guy murdered your friends and is like responsible for all this other crap. Like, why would you want to hang out with him in the afterlife?
Yeah, like that doesn't.
This is so dumb.
Yeah. Good God.
Yep.
And then we're back into the heart bunker, right?
Yeah, there's like an alarm going off now because the heart is, I don't know, who cares?
Disconnect.
And then back to the bunker. They're basically all dead at this point. They're all knocked out from no air.
Yep. Power comes back on. No ventilation system starts back up and running, right? Exactly. And then the old landline rings.
They all like come back to life immediately, like pretty quickly. They're like,
I don't know how that works.
What? Air? And Nomad answers the landline.
It's from Stone.
Like, don't worry, everyone's still alive.
Glad to hear you're still breathing.
That was easy.
Right. And then we cut to black, and we get a title card, right?
Oh my God, yeah.
4 weeks later.
4 weeks later.
So we cut to Bailey's house, or Bailey's niece's house, right? And we see the cat. Obviously, they came and picked up the cat. She's dropping off a present to Bailey. The niece comes out.
To Bailey's niece, yeah,
to Bailey's niece, right? And she comes out. She opens it up, and it's like, oh, it's a dollhouse. Oh, okay.
Who cares? Why'd you wrap up that storyline?
Yeah, like what is that? Like
I don't give a shit.
Yeah. So then we cut to we're in jail. We're in jail, right? Somewhere, right?
Yeah. She goes to meet Kia in jail, which I was like, what? And Kia like makes a joke. She's like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to get ripped in prison." What? What is happening? Why is it ending like this? And Rachel's like, "Well, I'm back with the charter, but on 2 conditions.
Oh my goodness.
One, sometimes you got to ignore the odds, and when it's time to ignore the odds, they're gonna send me in." You're like, what? And she's like, "The other condition, you got to be on my team. Here's a playing card."
The Joker.
So stupid.
Oh my God.
Which I was like, wait, they're just gonna get her out of jail? Like, she did terrorisms too. Like, you can't.
Yeah, you can't just.
That's not how any of this works.
So then we're in a van, a little stakeout with Jack. You know, he's in the field now. We got Jack, we got Rachel Stone, and we got Kia in the back doing the hacking, right?
Yeah.
And then Stone's like, she's gonna get out of the van, and like, you know, she looks at both of them. She's like, "Stay in the van."
Yep.
That's what she was told.
They do a whole, like, when Jack shows up and he's like, "Good news, bad news." Like, good news is whatever we're doing is going to be fine. And bad news is they're all out of oat milk. Like, I don't give a shit about any of this. And then it's literally just like explosions and lights like popping on and whatever behind her and walking away.
It was so ridiculous. It was like it looked like a commercial for like a perfume or a shoe or something that was going on. It wasn't like, this is how you're gonna end your movie.
Like in a fancy dress, kind of. Like,
there's like lights popping and there's people like freaked out. Like, what?
Yeah.
Would you do this?
And that's the end. That's literally the end. So stupid. I'm so mad.
Holy shit.
You're right. There's definitely gonna be a sequel and I'm gonna be furious.
Yep.
So time for Russ and Jared ameliorate.
Yeah, let's do it. Right off the bat, this doesn't need to be 2 hours. Make this an hour 45, hour and a half, hour 45.
Oof, that's generous. Yeah,
I'm going on the generous side, but you need to cut at least 15 minutes from this movie.
I say don't make it feature length.
Yeah,
short. I was pushing for shorts.
You're just looking for those short flicks, huh?
Cut all of it.
Yeah, I think there's I think I would have been more into if Kia was actually the villain. Like, why do we need the Parker twist thing here? Like, get rid of that. Just have it be, we got a villain. Like, I think Alia Bhatt would have been great too. Like, she was fun. I thought she was good in this.
Well, they want her to be in the next one as a hero. So
I know. I get it. I understand it, but I don't like it.
I agree though. Go full in on her. I say, like, cut the Parker character. You probably don't need the Parker character.
No, not at all. Right. Just get him out of there. And like all the sub threads that just like the Bailey thing. It's like, well, okay, so were you more friends with Bailey than Yang? Like,
right.
Yeah. Right.
What about her family?
Yeah. What about her? Like, she's dead too. Like, what? Just because you hung out with him in the van all the time, I guess you're closer. I don't.
Asinine.
Yeah, I'm not into that. And I mean, honestly, like all the action set pieces we've seen them before, so it's like could have been a little more more creative, I guess. I don't know what else. What else is there?
I mean, you hit on most of the big points there. Like, there are so many ways you could rewrite this and make it better, or just like lean into the cheese. Like there's so many, the dialogue's so bad, like make it worse. like give me like Red Notice, the other one, give me more like that. Like at least that was fun and watchable.
Yes.
And like entertaining.
Yeah.
Make it ridiculous.
Yeah. I agree. Like go a little more over the top with it. Or lean into the cheese a bit.
Like, Rachel Stone is not a character I ever want to see again.
Yeah, unfortunately, because I like Gal Gadot there, but
sure. She's fine.
I mean, she's totally fine in an action movie, but it was just I don't know, it was just very strange. And like all the transition shots too, there were so many like useless transition shots. Like we don't need this. Just get right to
so much wasted time.
You can just get right to the next thing. I just remember like in the beginning, I was like, okay, I was like, it's fine, benchmark, you know. But then like in midpoint, I'm just like, this is boring. Like what's going on? Like and like keep all the unique stuff. Like we already mentioned earlier. Like keep the heart probability stuff going in the movie, or like keep the weird POV shots going that like you inexplicably give up on after the credits. Yeah, like the one time, or like maybe use it twice. It's just like why introduce that and not continue with it?
Do something interesting, because like you said, otherwise it's like a paint by numbers spy thriller.
We've seen this. We've seen all of this stuff happen before. So
so
it's almost on the level of like a mockbuster to like Mission Impossible.
Yes. Oh, definitely, yeah. Like, well, from the producers of the new Mission Impossible,
right? So,
one thing we didn't really call out in the trailer trash that I forgot that I loved was like it was like from some of the producers of
right.
Mission Impossible. You're like, wait, they weren't all on board with this one?
No, just some.
I'm not putting my money on that.
$130 million. Holy smokes. Again, I'm trying to think of anything else. Like I mean, like they don't need to go deep into her backstory and showing all that. That's fine. Save that for the sequel.
Well, no, I don't want a sequel. Stop it. Stop encouraging them.
Oh my God. So I don't know. Is there anything else?
I don't think so. We can wrap it up.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for listening.
On to the next movie.
On to the next one. I'll be back next week with a new movie. In the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram. It's This Meets That, or ITMT Pod on Twitter. Subscribe wherever you're listening, and share with a friend.
Share with a stranger. Write a review. Leave 5 stars. That'll be help the computers help other people find us. You know,
help the heart find us, right?
I was say we don't have the heart quite yet, but
we don't.
So you need to do a little bit of legwork here and write some reviews. Or you can write some long form feedback if you want. Send us an email. It just meets that at gmail.com. We'll read it in trailer trash like we always do. Or you can go to the website where you can find all the old episodes, 200 and change and count, like tons and tons of content. The rest of your life, you could listen to ITMT if you really wanted to. Mm-hmm. We also have merch now. We have t-shirts.
Heck yeah.
If you like us and you want to support us, buy a t-shirt. That's the best way to support us right now. So please do that, or buy Russ's book, Host, out wherever you get books.
Right, everywhere.
It's justmeetsthat.com. You'll find the links to everything.